After regrettably not drafting Luka Doncic in 2018, the Kings have chosen the slow grind with De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, and now DeMar DeRozan. But is that going to push them over the edge to make them contenders in the West? To start off, we got to talk about the main piece of the show here is DeMar DeRozan. They signed him in the offseason. Really good player. I mean, we've been looking for him to get traded basically for the past 2 years. I mean, he was an all-star in 2022 and 23, missed it in 24, but he's played a decent amount of games. Like, he's a healthy guy. He's played the most amount of games in his career. Almost. I don't know why it's highlighted here. I don't know what that means. You get the point. He's played a lot. He's 34. He's aging, but he's been around for a long time. He's still the midi king. You know how that goes. Clutch player of the year, runner-up. I mean, he's still a baller, right? Last year, averaged 24, 5 and 5. DeMar DeRozan averaged 33% on 3 attempts in 79 games. So he only missed 3 games. So it's gonna be very interesting for the Kings to have him as a small forward, but DeMar DeRozan is a durable. He's reliable. Not really a shooter. He's the midi king, like I just talked about, but he shoots 48% from the field, like what we see. That's really freaking good for a guy who takes a lot of 2-pointers. I know there's been a lot of discourse and a lot of talk about, like, can he be an all-star this year? And my thing is probably not. I mean, he's on that fringe, but when you look at Fox and Sabonis, who have not really, stamped themselves as all-stars themselves, like, I don't know if DeMar's going to come in and be like, hey, I'm going to be the third option, but I'm going to be an all-star over those 2 guys. Does that make sense? So I think that also gives you kind of a hint of where I'm leaning with this team. It's not super hot. We'll get to that in a sec. The Kings they've won a decent amount of games. I mean, they are 4 games over 500. I mean, they went 46-36, went to the play-in. So in 2024, the Kings won 46 games, went 46-36. And we go here to 2023. We can see this. They were the 3rd seed. I forgot about that. They were the 48-34, but they ended up losing the Golden State Warriors in the first round. That was a nuts series, by the way. That was freaking awesome. But yeah, it was very interesting. They've been good. They have been, but overall, I think that they've been grouped with the teams such as like the Pelicans, the Warriors, the Lakers, kind of like that. Hey, we're good enough to make the playoffs, but we're probably going to fall in the play-in first and make it to the playoffs after that. Obviously, that wasn't the case in 2023. They were balling, as we can see right here. But I mean, yeah, they're always kind of, I don't want to say a disappointment. That's very, very harsh because I don't think they have a lot of expectations for them in the first place. Maybe that's a little more harsh to say, but that's how I feel. I just feel that they're like, yeah, they're cool. They're like, okay, that's pretty much all I have to say on that. I do like De'Aaron Fox. I've liked him since not high school, but I've liked De'Aaron Fox since high school. I watched him. I mean, Domantas Sabonis, he's pretty good. He's one of the more underrated bigs. I feel like we always talk about bigs, and it's always like, oh, yo, Wemby, Şengün, Jaren Jackson, Jokic, look at all these AD, and Sabonis just flies up right under the radar. He's been like that basically his entire career, but now this man can ball the freak out. I mean, he's a legit all-star. I hope he's an all-star this year. I really like Domas. I mean, that was the clown thing. He was on the starting 5 on Netflix, and it was like him, Butler, LeBron, Tatum, and Ant, and it was like, why is Sabonis there? And I was like, I get it, but at the same time, Sabonis is a freaking baller. Like, he's great. Along with De'Aaron Fox on that team, they got Malik Monk. I mean, they've got a really good squad. Speaking of their squad, how does their depth look? That's been I've been talking about that the entire series. If you've not checked out your favorite team and pretenders, check out the playlist. But the whole series, I've been looking at depth charts. Not gonna stop today. How is this Kings bench? Let me give you an answer. Kings bench, looking okay. Not amazing. Jordan McLaughlin. I actually saw him for the preseason for the first time. I was like, oh, I didn't know he's on the Kings. That's kind of interesting. Kevin Huerter, baller. Malik Monk, absolute baller. Oh my gosh, as a Clippers fan, let me tell y'all, bro. That game where we went to double overtime against the Kings like 2 years ago, and it was like 170, and Malik Monk had like 45 flipping points. This dude can put the ball in the basket. So the fact that he's come off the bench reminds me of, like, for the Clippers, like Norm Powell, who easily can start. But they're putting the Kings right here. I mean, they're putting Keon Ellis at the 2 because he's a way better defender. He's kind of bigger, lankier, and you can get that spark off the bench with Malik Monk. So already, their bench is a lot better than most benches in the league just because they have Malik Monk. They've got Kevin Huerter. Trey Lyles is dope. I don't know if he's going to be healthy, as we can see. He's out right here. Alex Len's pretty good. But their starting 5 is not bad either. Fox, Keon Ellis, which is like, maybe need some experience there. DeMar DeRozan, that's good. Keegan Murray, baller. That boy could freaking shoot. And Domantas Sabonis. So in terms of regular season, I think that they will be able to maybe replicate the 2023 where they almost win 50 games and get like a third seed. Maybe not like that high for this year because there's a lot of really good teams in the West, but they can be a top 6, not talented team, but a top 6 playoff seeded team just off the fact that they could win a lot of regular season games. Does that make sense? That being said, I have to follow that with they probably lose in the first round, as we've seen in 2023, kind of the same vibe where it's like, hey, we're good. We're home court advantage for the first time in 75 years, I guess, because the Kings have always been bad. Shout out Kings fans. But I don't see a lot coming from this team. I'm not scared of this team yet. I mean, I'm already scared of the Grizzlies way more than the Kings. People will be like, stop sleeping on the Kings, but show me that they can do something. Every time that Ja is healthy for the Grizzlies, like, they win 50 games. He goes down, they suck, he comes back, they get Zach Edey, and they're going to be a 50-win team again. Like, because I know that it's guaranteed. De'Aaron Fox is not built like that. He's a great player. I love him, but he's not taking that step up. So I kind of have to build that fuel to the fire, bro. I mean, show me that you can beat a team in the first round. Get to the playoffs, get home court advantage, but then beat someone in the first round. That's all I got to say. I mean, it's kind of, I love that people are like, yo, they got DeMar and they got all this stuff, but they haven't done anything yet. They've just been kind of middling. Like the Pelicans, same vibe. Lakers, same vibe. So the Lakers won a ring and went to the Western Conference Finals in like the past 4 or 5 years, twice. So very interesting how the Lakers are like super high and super low. Warriors, same thing. Win 2022, and then they've just been like, eh. So as long as those two teams are there, I don't know if the Kings can really even get in the play-in because it's going to be very interesting. Not to mention Wemby. I have not done my Spurs video yet, but the Spurs are right there too. They could be going for a play-in spot. So who knows? It's going to be very interesting to see. Hopefully this team stays healthy because I just want to see this team at its full 100% capabilities. But yeah, play-in, fringe 6th seed if they can win games. But they don't get out of the first round without a miracle, 100%. So they are pretenders. That's all I got for today. I got a lot more videos coming out. I think I'm going to do 2 more tomorrow on Saturday and 2 more Monday and Tuesday. So I'm going to have this series wrapped up by the time the very first tip-off of the NBA 2020 of the 2024-2025 season. Have all my videos out before then. So that's all I got for today. We out.